the ES E-mini futures 2000 tick chart and recent price action rules and market geometry to determine where to enter for high probability setups. So we started this morning off with a pretty nice downtrend working lower. You can see multiple confirmations off of this top trend line here. When I look at a trend like this and I'm looking to enter on a setup, I'm always drawing these short-term trend lines like this. You want to know when the pullback ends and all the bull pressure has played out before you enter a trade. So you can see we have this small spike up, break outside of that channel, created new extreme, second entry short there. Pretty decent. I think this was too early. This was right at market open, and you never really want to take a trade right as the market opens because it can be super volatile and wishy-washy. So you'll get rinsed out most of the time when you take setups like this. So it's better to just sit on your hands right at market open, and just wait for another one. So decent second entry short there. I like it because you can see the small spike up, break outside, bull pressure played out with creating the new extreme for this little thing. Nice big bear bar, rejection off of the EMA and the trend line. You would already have this trend line drawn, considering you would probably draw it after this swing here, after we push below EMA so strongly. You draw it, so nice rejection off of it. You'd see that. You can either enter with so you'll wait for this bar to trigger, meaning the prices break below this low, and then you can either enter one tick below this bar, or you can put a limit order inside the bar and wait for it to pull back and fill your order, just so you're risking a little bit less. You'd be filled on more trades if you just put your order one tick after the bar, and then once it flushes, it'll automatically fill you, and you'll catch the swing if it really leaves like this one did. But you're risking a lot more often on these trades, especially with, bigger ATR days where the bars are sometimes like 4 points big. I mean, you're risking, upwards of 32 ticks sometimes on these massive bars. So it's better to just, I like limit order. I can risk a consistent amount every time I enter a trade, 8 ticks, and that's my set risk. So after we had this downtrend, you can see we broke outside of this channel, and price action rules tell us that we need to create new low. It was hard to catch the trade to follow back into new low here because of how sideways we got. You can actually kind of look at it as like some kind of wider trading range, something like this. There's a lot of empty room at the top, you can see here. So there's definitely some bearish imbalance. And this lower high formed, we have new low, first entry short, pull back, second entry short after it broke below this bull bar here. You can't go short below a bull bar, but then you get a lower high confirmation setup right here with this big bear bar. You can see prices tried to break above EMA and rejected. I didn't take this trade mainly because you're going short right into these lows. But I think the bias is strong enough for you to need to create new low for this downtrend like it did here. And that would have been a pretty decent trade. Just a little bit risky early in the week taking something like that directly into these lows. You can see multiple rejections off of these lows. We bounced multiple times, so it's better to just be patient. Now that we create a new low, we can expect correction or reversal. So the market's either going to go sideways, it can continue to work lower. There might even be some kind of wider downtrend, or we can reverse to the upside. But as of right now, this is area of development. I'm not even looking for trades. I'm just waiting for the market to show me what it wants to do. That way I can start looking for trades, with the correct bias. So let's see what the market wants to do here. All right, guys, with all this empty room here at the top of this trading range, I'm thinking there's some kind of wider downtrend. Maybe something like that. You can see multiple confirmations off the bottom at the beginning here. Multiple bounces off of the top. You normally only need 3 bounces to have pretty good confidence in your channel. You can see we bounced once, twice, and 3 times. We broke outside of this channel, so we need to create new low. So same thing that we did here. Let's see if we can get something like this. Maybe some kind of second entry short or failed second entry long, something along those lines. But we want it to form below EMA. You can see we spiked above right here. So in order for me to consider a short, I need to see first entry long, break below EMA, and then a pull back to EMA for a failed second entry long. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, we never created a new low, so I went ahead and deleted that wider downtrend. I'm following this little short-term channel up now. We do have a first entry long, pullback, second entry low long, and then a higher low confirming that. Potential failed second entry short forming here. Decent setup, but you can see it's pretty congested here. So depending on how this bar closes, I can consider entering this trade. But as of right now, it's just really sideways. You can see flat EMA in the middle of all these bars. This uptrend does need new high though. And regardless, it is pretty bullish. You can see we're slowly working up higher lows and higher highs. So we'll see how this bar closes. Alright guys, I went ahead and entered this trade. Decent enough for me. Nice higher low bar. It's definitely bullish. This uptrend needs new high. I'm scalping 8 ticks, 16, and then I'm leaving 1 in as a runner. Let's see what the market wants to do. Alright guys, the market's pretty slow, so I'm going to go for 6 ticks on my initial scalp. Alright, I moved it back up to 8. The market started moving again after this nice bull bar here, so hopefully we can fill this 8 up here. One more tick. Alright guys, we got the scalp, so I went ahead and moved my stop loss to break even. This target profit up here is 16. That one I just took was 8. I took 2 at 8. I'm going to take 2 at 16, and then I'm going to leave 1 in as a runner. Hopefully we get a pretty nice spike here, but I'm going to hold this trade and see where it wants to go. Okay, so we already created new high. You can see we broke out of this channel and then created new high with this push. So I'm going to go ahead and try to lock in some profits and put my stop at 8 ticks just to take those other three contracts out. Hopefully we reach the 16, but if we don't, it's all good. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, I hit my stop at 8 ticks. A little bit unfortunate. We were 1 tick away from hitting my 16, but it is what it is. It's just a part of the game. Still about $500 trade, so pretty decent. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Overall, pretty good day. This really nice downtrend is what we started with. Break, pushed a new low. After new low, we expect correction or reversal, and it looks like it started a minor reversal here. Nothing too strong, but overall pretty good uptrend. We had a break of this uptrend, and just like the downtrend at the beginning of the day, we knew that it needed to create a new extreme like it did here. So nice failed second entry short. Entered on that one. Caught 8 ticks with all 5 contracts. It looks like it wants to continue higher. There might even be like some kind of wider channel, something like that. But I was playing it safe with the break and new high. Just consolidated here in the middle of the day. Decent lower high confirming a second entry short to create the new low for the downtrend. But you're going low right into these lows on this small trading range right here. So personally, I'd skip that. This decent second entry short, you'd have this channel drawn, but it's right at 730, so you want to skip that trade. This is really the only other one I can see. There's this new low, first entry short, second entry short failure. This bar here is pretty decent, but it's still too early to have this channel confirmed. You can see it got confirmed here after 3 bounces. So that's decent, but you just don't have any, bias lining up with it yet. So overall, pretty good. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be uploading every weekday my live charting session. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck with your trading.